Alright, and we are back. And I am actually recording during the day for once. Okay, so last time we finally met Erasmus and Fenris. We found out about perfect. Another spell that we can get from Hermit. However, in order to get to the Hermit, we need a second spell, which will show us the way into his house. So, we're going to get that first spell, single silver coin, and then she's gonna sleep all night. Then we'll be able to talk to Herman the Hermit and have all the spells that we need to compete against Erasmus in Mage's Maze. Pretty sure we're still... Well, we can need more. So I guess it fills us for about 2 days. Alright, so... to remember exactly how to get to where I'm going. Nope. It's over on this side of the map, the west side of the forest, I suppose. And it's either right here. Perfect. So, what are these guys? Seems to be an abundant supply of blue and purple meeps. If only they'd stay still for a moment, you'd be able to count them. Get no response. Get no response. Oh, apparently. If I try and lift this. Nope, that didn't work. I have to actually catch them when they're out. You're squeaking, muttering from beneath the ground. It seems the Meeps are having quite a discussion about you. Oh, well, that's perfect. We're talking to a green one. Hiya, hiya. Pleased to meet ya. Meeps. We are happy Meeps, living in our happy holes. Don't worry, be happy. Alright. Rocks. We use rocks for doors. They keep us dry and warm in our holes. Holes. We live in tunnels under the ground, you know. Okay. Brigands. Gee, boss, I really don't know much about that. Oh, hey, sorry. Fair enough. Fur. Remember, green fur was on our list of ingredients for our Dispel potion. Hey, like, fur is good stuff. Keeps us warm. Mine's the best. It's like green, you know? I guess this guy's supposed to be like hippie? I don't know. Oh, you want some green fur? I think I have some somewhere. And then he just yanks his hair out. Thanks, buddy. And last question. I found a scroll lying around in the woods one day. You want it? It's yours. Oh, that's easy. Comes down, grabs it, and that's the end of our conversation. Thanks, bud. So let's grab this. Pick up the scroll, spell scroll. As the magical runes fade, you find you now know how to cast the Detect Magic spell. Excellent. And we'll grab our green fur. I forget what happens if you just catch this anywhere. Let's flame dart out. 23. So we cast Detect Magic. There's no magic in this area. Alright, well, let's find an area where there is magic. I still don't want to deal with the brigand yet. I have to go down, don't I? Yeah. So we were told by Erasmus that Henry the Hermit lives by the waterfall. The Flying Falls, as they're called. But I don't have a way to get up there, so we just have a sheer rock face. But what we can do is cast Detect. Aha! You see that there's a ladder here. Now, I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like dealing with climbing back up twice, but we knock on this door. We knock 3 times. Voice from inside. Just a minute, just a minute. Please move away from the door. If you stand in a place where you're still in front of the door, when he swings it open, you'll get knocked off and incur some damage. But you can actually have to be careful about where you step, because it's easy to walk right off. Hey, Henry. Oh, hello. Go on in. Thanks, Henry. Hello, how are you? Have we met before? I'm Henry the Hermit. That's me. Me farther was a hermit. Me murther was a hermit, so I's come by my job rightly. Me job, whatever. Don't have too many visitors. Hermits don't, you know, part of the job description. I'm not going to keep going with the accent. I likes to see a new face, though. Good to see there's another speaking besides myself. So's what can I do for you? Let's chat. What about your name? I'm Henry. Henry the Eighth I is. Me father was an Henry, and me. And his father was an Henry, and his father was an Henry, and his father, blah, 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 blah. And everyone was a hermit. Hermit. This guy's very annoying. My brother Harry hardly says a word in a year. My sister Hortensia hasn't spoken since we were 6. I never talks at all. Yes, we hermits knows how to keep a mouth shut. Never stops talking. Well, it's dark and damp and the water roars, so there's not a moment's quiet. The ceiling drips and the walls are slimy and it's always cold. But, oh well, says I, it's home. Fair enough. Family lives pretty far apart from each other. We're all hermits, you know. Okay. Falls. This here, what's called the Flying Falls. I've done some flying falls around here myself. That porch gets slippery sometimes. Ladder. I know some magic. Erasmus the Wizard taught me some spells. He's what put the spell on the ladder so's the brigands don't get up. Then what climbs the rocks gets a door opening in their nose. Erasmus. He's my friend. He and Fenris. Powerful wizard he is. I hear his house is something to see up north. I don't make it out much, and he's pretty busy, so I don't see him too often. But when we do all get together, you can be sure we'll have fun. He loves to play his games, he do. Fenris. Fenris is Erasmus's familiar, or is that the other way around? Which is the same joke that the two of them made when we were speaking in the Purple Tower. Games. Erasmus' favorite game is the Mage's Maze. Have to be a magic user to play it, though. Erasmus is awful good at it. Spells. Spells, what I knows, is pretty simple, maybe, but I like them. I can make my ladder show up and my door close and even get rid of pests using the trigger spell. Trigger? It's a spell that sets off other spells. Like when you want to see a ladder, you cast a trigger and there you have it, large as life. Of course, you've got to have a spell on the invisible ladder to make it visible first, but it has its uses. I think I have a scroll with a spell on it, if you be knowing some magic, that is, which we do. Please, show us the scroll. If you wanted to learn the spell, I'll be pleased to share it with you. It's just getting moldy in my hiding place. Do you want it? Yes. Let's see, how does Erasmus do it? Oh, yes. He summons it with a trigger. Here goes. There, you has it. Alright. Walls, ladder, and there's the brigands left. Nasty sorts, they is. I sees them sneaking around the woods all the time. Other than the warlock, I has nothing to do with them. Warlock. He's not so bad. Got a good sense of humor he has. I get the giggles just to think of him. Hee 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 hee. He comes by at times to chat. Borrowed the mirror, what I borrowed from Erasmus he did. Erasmus told us about this mirror. It was his mirror to reflect curses back on the caster. Magic mirror of reflection it was. You use it when a nasty spell was cast at you. It was what set it back at the other one, what cast it. Do unto others, I says, hee hee hee. Excellent. And enough. So let's grab this. Scroll vanishes even as you read the magical runes upon it. You now have the knowledge to cast a trigger spell. So we could have sat during our conversation. That's probably enough. You can also come here and sleep overnight if you want, but I don't. Fine. If you ever needed a place to stay in the night and you're in the area, I could be willing to put up with you for the night for some rations and a couple games of cribbage. Good to know. Thanks, bud. Alright. So, we now have our 2 new spells. Have their uses at times. Let's keep working on our magic here. Hey! Alright, search your opponent for silver coins. Let's see. Could explore the rest of town. See if our friend is going to be down here. Yeah, it's a special random encounter that happens on occasion right here. Give the green fur to our healer. And she'll remind us of whatever else we need. Well, what can I do for you this time? Oh, I never gave her the acorn. These Meeps sounds so interesting. I'd like to meet them sometime. I'll get to work on that potion of yours. So we still need fairy dust, flying water, and the magic acorn. So let's give her the acorn. So flying water. Well, we just... So you help the dryad. That's nice. She does keep the forest... Oh, we already told her that. Fairy dust and flying water. Flying water, we just left the flying falls, so maybe some water from there will work once we have an empty vial, which we could buy, but I don't want to. Centaur stops breaking as you approach. I think we'll do just a little bit of fighting for a couple minutes, and I'm not going to go to the training ground yet. Oh, that's right. Let's see how this goes. Should be fine. Now, one annoying thing is if you start your spell and you're hit before it finishes, you still lose those mana points. And there's no treasure. Let's see if we can... Time, day's dawning, still okay. And sleep. Okay. We'll do 1 or 2 more fights and then end the video there. Walk around this little square. Alright. For some reason the keyboard wasn't registering well. That was the Meeps, isn't it? Yeah. Suppose we could explore the edges of the map. So this will bring us back to the Goblin Training Ground. Seen just about everything there is on the overworld map at this point, I believe. So this is the log that marks where the falls are. Oh, excellent. Remember the TV show Dinosaurs from a long time ago? Looks like a dinosaur trudging grumpily to work. So I was hoping we run into that. Someone's chasing us. How much magic do we have right now? 15. Perfect. Good. Alright. Done and done. And 1 silver coin. Oops. I guess we don't see what changed, but alright. Well, I think that is enough for today, so we will save and end our video here, and then come back next time.